Today, let's talk about our fear of failure and how we can overcome it. We all have important goals that we want to pursue: getting fit, learning new skills, creating something useful, growing in our careers. And when we start on any of those goals, we have a lot of vigor. Then we start coming across roadblocks. Some of them we overcome, others we can't. So we get stuck, like a deer freezes when it gets caught in a car's headlight. The deer can't see anything, so it does nothing. Likewise, because we can't see the path or the destination, we don't do anything. But here's the thing: rarely is a moment of insight or a destination going to reveal itself to you like a virgin waterfall when you are stuck. What actually happens is that you remain stuck for days, weeks, months, years. That feeling of stuckness then becomes the comfort zone. So, if it's action that helps us overcome this feeling of stuckness, what stops us from taking action? The fear of failure. Rather, the fear of what people will say if and when we fail. They will pass snide or jarring comments, or they will say things like, "What were you even thinking? Now that you know you're not good enough, stop trying." And those hurt us a lot. But this fear also compromises the usefulness of failure, which is that it pushes us outside our comfort zone, it teaches us new things, it makes us value every small win, and it teaches us not to take anything for granted. So, failure is far more useful than you can imagine. Hence, if you want to take action, here are three simple steps you can use to not just overcome the fear of failure, but actually to use failure as a tool to invest in yourself. Step number one: stop worrying about your personal image. A major reason why we don't pursue something new or a goal that we're really keen on is that we worry more about our image than our accomplishments. So, if we ever fail at something, or rather, if we don't succeed at it, we will spend all our time justifying ourselves, telling others why we failed. Because maybe we weren't even trying, maybe we didn't have time, maybe the odds were stacked against us. As time goes by, these excuses, because honestly, that's what they are, start becoming real in our own heads. And then when someone is going to suggest a way out of it, we will say, "You're right, but I can't do it." Richard Feynman said, "The first principle is to not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool." Worrying about your personal image is like trying to herd cats. Because when you succeed, the people who are criticizing you for failure today will be the very same people who will keep telling the world how they never stopped believing in you. So, step one is stop worrying about your personal image. Step two is to ask yourself a simple question. And this is a question that MS Dhoni taught me. You see, when Dhoni gets stuck, he does not give in to unconstructive emotions like frustration or anger. Instead, he asks himself, "What should I do next?"
I feel equally frustrated. I also feel angry at times. I feel disappointed. But what is important is none of these are constructive. What needs to be done right now is more important than any of these emotions. So when I get into the thinking of what needs to be, Nabi mujhe kya karna hai, what is the next thing that I can plan, who is the individual I can use.
And before you know it, an inspired bowling or fielding change of his has changed the state of the game in his team's favor. This reminds me of Albert Einstein's quote, which is, "Life is like a bicycle. To keep balance, you must keep on moving." When you are stuck and ask yourself, "What should I do next?" Steps could include looking up the answers on the internet, or taking a big problem, breaking it down into smaller ones, or it could be reaching out to someone who's already done what you're trying to do and seeking feedback from them. And if none of this works, you can move to step three, which is to take a break. Take a nap, meet friends, hit the gym, cook, read. Research shows that taking a break is good for health. It reduces decision fatigue, it improves motivation, and it increases your productivity, your creativity, and your learning. But make it a point to avoid Netflix and social media during these break times, because too much content consumption will exhaust you even further. A break has the capacity to give you an aha moment, which can show you the step forward. Or even if not that, it will at least rejuvenate you to return to the problem with a fresh pair of eyes. Hell is right here. It's when you meet the person whom you could have become. Remember that your life is the sum total of your actions. If you keep leaving all your actions midway, how will you make progress? Rather, you will end up living a life of regret, which is even worse than a life filled with failure. But if you stick with your tasks long enough to give them meaningful ends, no matter how small, the life that you currently think of as a dream will definitely become a reality. All you need to get to your destination is to take one step at a time. Not so tough, is it? Namaste.